Is one combo enough for bank fishing? Are 3, 4, 5, 6 combos too much to take with you bank fishing? How about you? How many combos do you take when you go bank fishing? What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Today we are talking bank fishing. Specifically, how many combos should you bring with you? I recently had this conversation with somebody on Instagram who said, you only need one combo, bringing more is a waste of time. Funny enough, somebody messaged me after that and said, Debo, thank you for showing me to take multiple combos, and gave a few reasons why. So I thought, let's do a video on this and answer the dilemma. Should you only bring one? Should you bring multiple? Is there a right answer? What do you do? Let's start by talking about the solo combo. You know, the ease of taking just one combo with you, the simplicity of that goes a long way when you're first starting out. In my opinion, the most important thing is putting time in on the water. You know what made me think of that? This old boat. Yeah, that's the old aluminum kayak. And why would this make me think of starting out? Well, was getting this cleaned out to go fishing for this weekend. And funny enough, if you didn't know, this is actually the boat that my old man had when I was little, 4 or 5 years old, whenever I started first going out in the boat. And he gave it to me. This boat is that old. I was out here getting this ready, cleaning it up, and was reading those messages, and I thought, you know what, we need to do a video on that. Multiple combos or one. Let me climb up in the boat and get a little bit more comfortable. There we go. So what was I saying? Time on the water. Time on the water is the most important thing when you're starting out. You need to learn how to use the combo that you've got. You need to learn how to cast the lure, where to cast it, which places at which ponds you can even access, how the bass change their movement during time of year, during different weather conditions. There's a lot to process and take in when you first start out bass fishing. So going out with only one combo takes a lot of that stress away for beginners. In fact, that's how I started out about 6 years ago when I upgraded to my first newer combo. All my old stuff from then was stuff that my pops has handed down to me or things that I got clear back in high school and was still using. So I got this combo, the old Abu Garcia Pro Max and the number 8 Hellbent rod. This whole combo, I think I spent like 60 bucks on total. Found that on sale, found this on sale. And this is all I wanted to use. It was my first new combo. It felt good. This is all I was pretty much taking out with me. When you work a full-time job and you got kids, time is also a factor, so you don't have a bunch of time to rig up, 15, 20 combos. You grab this, throw it in the car, and go fishing. Hopefully before the old lady finds out you're gone. Yeah, I would usually grab this and a couple lures and go. Now, speaking of taking just a couple lures, that's important for beginners. Taking only one combo as a beginner can be really productive because you can only fish one lure at a time. People tell me that all the time. Why are you taking multiple combos? You can only fish one lure at a time. And when you're first starting out, focusing on just a couple of lures is important because you're going to gain confidence in that lure. Confidence. You hear it a lot in sports, everything in life, right? It almost sounds cliche. Get confidence in it. But honestly, it's true. Confidence can make or break a day on the water. For example, pop quiz hot shot. I show up out on the water with a bag with $1 million in it, and I tell you, you can have all this money if you catch a fish within 10 minutes of me being here. What lure would you reach for right now? If you answer within a couple seconds, I guarantee it's one of your confidence lures, right? It's a lure that you turn to when fishing's tough and you think, I just want to catch something, you turn to your confidence lure. And when you first start out fishing with that one combo, that confidence is really going to start to click. The more you use it, the more you get out on the water. In different conditions, you find out when it works, when it doesn't work. And finally, you have a day where you catch a bunch of fish on it. You're going to gain confidence in that lure real quick, and you're going to turn to it and learn all the ins and outs of it. That's how you gain confidence using one combo, one lure. And heck, bringing just one combo is good for anyone, no matter what skill level, when you want to get better at a certain lure or technique. Take, for example, me with big swim baits. I need to bring out just one and only that. Now, be honest with yourself. How many times have you gone out saying, I'm going to work this new lure and get good with it, or I'm going to work this new technique until I catch a fish on it? You fish it for 30 minutes to an hour, you don't catch anything, what do? You swap back to the good old Cinco because you know you can catch a fish on it. It's a confidence lure. Whatever it is, you end up switching to that because you have faith in it. Whether or not you're catching anything, you'd rather be fishing the lure you have confidence in as opposed to something you've never caught a fish on and all the time you fished it. And of course, there are other advantages to taking one combo. It's less cumbersome if you're out hiking in the middle of the woods to some unknown pond. Taking just one's a whole lot easier not to break through all that. Taking one combo, you don't have to worry about leaving a combo behind when you're walking around to different ponds. Yes, I have done that before. Bringing only one combo, you don't have to worry about breaking the other combo that you left over there when you swing back on the backswing of this. Yes, I've broken combos doing that.
Oh, and that's what happens when you catch the rod behind you.
Taking one combo, it's a whole lot easier to transport this, throw this in your car or whatever, as opposed to trying to get 20 different rods in there. I get it. It's simple, it's easy, it's quick. So now on the other side of the spectrum, the dilemma that we're trying to answer, why would you want to bring more than just one combo? I personally feel there are a number of advantages to taking more than one combo when you go, but let's grab this and go downstairs. Well, one big advantage of bringing multiple combos with you is that you can cover all 3 levels of the water column: top, middle, and bottom. You don't have to cut off, you can cover all 3 of those with different combos. It simply allows you to keep switching it up until you figure out what kind of mood those fish are in. Do they want topwater? Are they feeding looking down? They want a jig or Ned rig? Whatever it is, you can keep switching that up. For example, what do I mean? Well, I got some lures down here. For example, in the fall, I like to start out with a spook. Throwing that, trying to get on a topwater bite. As that dies out, I may pick up a spinner bait, try throwing that around some wood. I buy a spot that looks really fishy, you know, a brush pile, and I'm thinking, there's gotta be a fish there. I reach over, grab a wacky rig, throw it in there, boom, I get a fish. If you had one combo with just that topwater, chances are you'd have blown by that spot and kept covering water, doing who knows what. Top of the water column, middle of the water column, and bottom. You can cover all 3. Now some folks may contradict that and say, well, why not just cut off the topwater and tie on the spinner? If that doesn't work, cut that off and tie on the wacky rig. You can certainly do that, but let's be honest, who likes cutting and retying, cutting and retying? That's one of the reasons you hate getting snagged and losing lures. You gotta retie. Heck, even when I don't lose my lure, I get lazy and I say, it's just one little nick, I'm not gonna retie, because we get lazy and we just wanna fish. I personally would rather just grab my other combo, throw in that spinner or throw in that wacky rig to see if it works. If it doesn't, I can grab my topwater and keep covering water. Somebody else may say, well, why not tie on a snap, right? Then you can just undo it and put it back on. Well, that doesn't work for every lure, for example. You ever try to snap on a spinnerbait like that? Snap doesn't work real well there. Try to put a snap on a finesse rig, it's not gonna do it. It just doesn't work right. Another big reason is because I think for a lot of people, it encourages them, again, just to use that confidence lure, which is good. But when you're trying to work other lures and use multiple presentations, I think you're more apt to do that if you've got a couple combos and can switch back and forth, as to just cutting off the topwater and putting that wacky rig, you catch one, chances are you're just gonna keep that on and fish that the rest of the day. So to really emphasize that point of having multiple combos, I present the art of the follow-up. You miss a fish on a topwater search bait, for example, you know exactly where that fish is, and it's aggressive, right? It blew up on your frog or your topwater pop or whatever it is and missed it. You throw it over again, 2, 3, 4 times, it doesn't come back. A good percentage of the time, if you have a finesse bait or some sort of follow-up bait tied on, a Texas rig, a jig, whatever it may be, right after that initial blow up, if you throw in as soon as possible after that, that fish is still kind of looking around waiting. And if you drop a little Senko in front of it, most of the time you're gonna get that fish. I'm a huge proponent of it. I talk about it a lot on my channel. I've had people message me privately and say, thank you so much for showing me the follow-up. I never would have thought of it, or I've never done it before. And they catch fish. You know, you miss a fish, you've got something to follow with and right away. You can't do that if you have one combo. You can't miss it and take 10 minutes to cut off and retie and do all that. Time is of the essence when you're following up. Now, another benefit is that carrying multiple combos allows you to fish with different combos. Well, duh, Debo. What I mean is, if you only take one combo, you've got to try to be as versatile as possible. If you go out fishing with the frog, more than likely you've got a medium heavy or a heavy power rod with bigger braid, 50, 65 pound braid, right? What happens when you get to that spot, you haven't been there for a month and the water's gin clear? Or you get to that spot, you're throwing the frog, you can't catch a darn thing. You talk to the other guy next to you and he's caught 30 some on a Ned rig, and you go, man, I wish I could throw a Ned rig on this. Or you get to the other side and you want to throw a crankbait, you can't really do that on a frog combo. You're gonna have more options for more lures across the spectrum when you have a few different combos. You could have your heavy rod with braid and use that for punching and frogging, bigger jigs, whatever. You could switch over to your spinning rod, you know, for your finesse, Ned rig, you know, a little swim bait. You could switch over to a more bendable, flexible crankbait combo. You could also use that for moving lures. Whatever, having a few combos, you've got more options. And you're gonna find more success with those different lures when you have a combo that's more suited for it. Now, I'm not discrediting anybody that likes to go out with one combo. I did it for a long time, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's people still to this day that do it. I've got a buddy that takes only one most all the time, and he swears by it. You can only fish one lure at a time, he says, Devin. I get it, I completely get it, and that's fine. Fishing is different for everyone, so if you want one combo, take just one. But certain lures like treble hooks, finesse lures, you know, big heavy frogs with big hooks, you can't fish a little tiny one-aught finesse hook on the same rig you're gonna throw a big frog hook with 2 huge hooks. you're gonna have a lot more success when you use a combo that's better suited for it. The other big thing is people say, I don't have money for multiple combos. You know, whether you're a younger angler, you're on a fixed income, whatever, that's fine. Save up. It's not gonna happen overnight. I hear people all the time, I wish I had 30 different combos. I wish I had as much as the pros out there. When you're starting out, you don't need 20 different combos like the pros, right? You don't need 40 combos and certain dedicated, only one rod for jerkbaits and only one rod for jigs. Build your arsenal up slowly, you know, save up your money and get a new reel for a birthday or Christmas present, ask for a rod. Stop drinking 5 monsters a day and put that money in a jar for a new baitcaster. Another important aspect of that is don't just buy multiple combos to have multiple combos. Fish for a while and figure out what you need. You know, I don't advise anybody to go out and find the cheapest combo they can and buy 6 of them. If you have all the same thing, you know, you're not achieving anything. You find out that a wacky rig or a Ned rig is your favorite thing to fish. You know, maybe you save up for a medium power spinning rod so you can fish those. Or vice versa, you've only got a spinning rod now and you fished the frog a few times and had a few blowups and you're addicted, right? It's like somebody threw a hand grenade in the water. Maybe you save up and get a heavy power rod, you know, and a baitcaster so you can have a dedicated frog combo. And a lot of that's just gonna come with time and experience. Same thing for different brands and different companies. As you try different stuff, you know, try to borrow your buddy's stuff because you may find that Daiwa reels fit your hand better than Lew's, or you like the way Shimano feels and cranks better than Abu Garcia. Whatever it is, different styles, different shapes fit people differently. I've got certain rods that are a lot more comfortable where the trigger is. Let me show you. The trigger on a bait casting rod, this part right here, some of them are back farther, some of them are up farther. So when you palm the bait caster like this, it fits in here more comfortably. You can wrap your finger up around the front. All of them feel just a little bit different. They've got different size bait casters, you know. Some are smaller finesse, 100 size, some are bigger, 300 size for muskie. You've got to figure out what works for you, for your body and hand shape. Now, another important aspect of having multiple combos is it gives you a backup. You know, if you're first learning a bait cast, or even with a spinning reel, you get a wind knot, or, you know, the line pulls out, whatever it is, and you blow up that one combo, if that's all you've got, you're going home. Or you happen to be like me and you accidentally step on a combo.
They're just all on this little... Wow, I stepped on that rod. How flippin' awesome is that? I freaking stepped on that rod on that. I don't even know what to say. Brand new rod, I've only used it a few times. It has been that night. I thought I just stepped on it walking backwards there, and I did. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
Hey, at least you've got other combos to fish. You can keep staying out there, especially like when I stepped on that rod, those fish were biting all over. My day went from crummy to really good. And if I'd have went home then, I'd have missed out on all those fish. So again, don't get me wrong. The gear doesn't make the angler makes the gear. What I mean is, let's say we gave KVD 3 combos and put him out on a boat and put me on some super expensive boat with 375 different combos. Guess what? KVD would still beat me any day. Why? Because of his experience, trying all those different lures, learning those lures, learning on different bodies of water. All that's the most important when you're starting out. So in my opinion, I really do think there are a number of advantages to bringing multiple combos when you go out. You can have one set up with your confidence lure, you can have other lures to try. It just gives you options. But I want to hear from all of you now. So do me a favor, comment below, let me know, do you prefer only bringing one combo? Or do you like multiple combos, 2, 3? What do you bring and what do you think makes you the most successful? Now tonight's subscribed fishing friend is another YouTuber, Russell over at RWA Fishing. He's been a supporter of me for a long time. He's got his own channel. Go check him out. He's a good guy. Russell, thank you for always watching and commenting below. And thank you everybody else that continues to watch. Let me comment below and let me know, do you like this kind of vlog type? It used to be something for you OGs out there, for the Debos Fishing family. You fishing friends that remember the fish food for talk, where I would bring up a subject and just kind of talk on it? I think they call it a flog, a fishing log. Wait a minute, flog means something else, doesn't it? We're not going there. A fishing vlog type of video like this. Comment below, let me know if you like this type of style. Picking a subject, talking about it. When it gets cold here in Iowa, I need to do more fishing talking, because when you can't be out fishing with your buddies, what's the next best thing? To talk fishing with your buddies. And that's what we're doing here, because we're all fishing friends on Debos Fishing. So I need to go edit and get all this done. So thank you all for watching, and until next time.